Okay, we have a lot to talk about today. So there is over 1 billion people in the world living with some mental health conditions. Like 1 billion people is a lot of people. That's almost 13% of the global population. That's crazy. This was recently stated by WHO, the World Health Organization, and I think that there's actually more than 1 billion people suffering from mental health conditions because they obviously couldn't count it all. So when I saw it, it was like, wait a minute, like that's a lot of people, like 1 billion, it's like an every 8th person having some kind of condition which is like not helping them live their life in a sense, so it's a lot. But why is it happening? Like how we even get here and what is gonna happen in the future? Is it gonna grow or is it gonna decline? Well, it's actually up to us, or maybe up to you. I will tell you why. So to begin with the current situation, the main two conditions in all this 1 billion people, and I'm not saying the only two conditions, but the main two conditions are anxiety and depression. Anxiety is like having an excessive fear and worrying, and it's really hard because it can kick in certain moments and you are like... Depression, on the other hand, is like persistent low mood, sadness, helplessness, and so on. You are like, wait, like all the time. So both of these conditions are really hard to live life with, kinda. And but it's possible. It's definitely possible to like even go through them and get to a point where you are freaking free. And I'm the living example of it. I went through both. Combined, and now I'm shining. So if you are going through something, you can definitely go through it. Now, speaking of living life, every year, almost 1 million people, if not 1 million people, is committing suicide, which is like, again, a huge number. It's a global number, but it's 1 million people who decide to just go because of the mental health condition that they are living in. So this is kind of the situation that we are currently in as a society. Of course, with mental health, there is a lot more things going on. I'm just pointing out the most important, let's say. But maybe if you are going through something right now, it's completely okay. Check out the link in the description. There are some links which you can visit for help, because we are all humans, we have all emotions, and we are all going through something sometimes. So there are naturally people who are ready to help and support you with anything. For example, when I was going through my depression and anxiety, I was like, oh, I'm going to fix it myself. And I was doing it quite well, actually. But it took about 1.5 years almost. And then I decided to, maybe I'm going to check out therapy as well. And then I tasted the therapy, and actually working with another person can be much more helpful because they can see what you can't see. And also, if you know everything, because you are the only one in your universe, so you are knowing yourself the most. But when someone else tells you maybe a thing that you already know, but you hear it from a different person, it can be a lot helpful. So I can definitely recommend check out the links in the description if you are going through something. Now, since we know what's happening, let's take a look at why we even here. Like, how we got here. So, let's talk about human. Human for quite a long time has been driven by many factors, one of which, quite the strongest, is the need for survival. Yeah, we need to survive, right? And because a human is a very complex creature, sometimes they were like, oh, I want a piece of this mammoth. And then another person came and he said like, no, I'm gonna take this piece of the mammoth. Yeah, and they started like fighting, and now we are here. This was like super short description of what is actually happening, but basically from all the trauma that compiled because of humans just fighting together with each other, even though we are one family and one species and like what the, but people still chose to fight over things. So yeah, naturally it didn't feel good to be there, to watch it, to experience it. So there's a lot of drama, and now we in these positions, we are facing all that the previous generations have created for themselves. So So it's like a pile of everything that over time accumulated. But also another few things that are worth mentioning that are causing currently the global distress is, for example, paying rent, having enough money to even live, comparing ourselves with each other, loneliness, climate changes and destructions and all this, our childhood traumas, and even the pandemics that were happening, it's like everything is having an effect. So it's understandable like how we got here. But now we get the opportunity to actually change the course, steer the ship in a different direction, and create a world where we doesn't have to do this to ourselves anymore. That's what I believe in. And since I'm mentioning the future and how we can create it, let's talk about the future. So what is going to happen? Is it going to grow? Is it going to decline? From my perspective, I don't even know what's going to happen in 5 minutes from now. So what's going to happen in the future is very like a guessy thing. But since we all are creating our future, we can definitely know how we are going to set ourselves for the future that we are going to live in. Like personally, I mean. And if enough people is going to do the personal change, then the world is going to naturally change. But despite not knowing what's going to happen in the future, I see two potential paths. These paths are basically ways of being that you can choose to live. The first one I call a recipient. Recipient is basically a person who is just going by every day and is subject to everything which is happening outside of them. So they are like pointing outwards, they are not looking inwards, and they are basically like the victim of everything which is happening around them, and they are not making any much changes towards feeling better or anything like it. So they are just flowing, but like blindly flowing. So you're just flowing, but yeah, you got me. Now, a lot of people is actually living this way, like living under the foot of life and complaining, surviving, fighting with each other, and like still doing these kinds of behaviors. But there is also a second path that you can choose that I call the creator. The creator path speaks for itself. Basically, you are in a position where you are creating your experience, where you are taking the responsibility of being yourself, and you are creating your own experience and your own reality. Because in the end, everything is here, and whatever you set up here is going to be projected there. So when you take the responsibility, when you understand how it works, at least a little bit, then you can literally like start creating your own world in a sense. And even when you take this kind of steering wheel, you can basically also see what's happening outside, but it's not influencing you because you are just not letting it. It's not aligned with you. So the creator just goes and creates. And I personally believe that we are all meant to be creators. We are like having these bodies which we can do stuff. So we are all creators. But there is a lot of things like social media and other stuff which is basically keeping us under safe but smelly space, and yeah, it's like comfortable there, but we are not moving anywhere from that place. So that's why I'm choosing to be creator, and I enjoy my life since the very choice I made. So the 1 billion number, is it gonna grow or is it gonna decline? Well, I believe that it's gonna decline because I'm an optimistic person and I believe in positive change, and I can see the progress which is happening actually right now in the world towards like a huge positivity. So I believe that it's gonna decline. But yeah, it's ultimately up to all of us what we will do about it. I remember that when I was going through depression and anxiety, I was knowing that it's gonna pass. I knew it's gonna pass. I knew it's like a tunnel that I'm walking through, you know, and I could see the light all the time, and I was walking towards that light, and now I'm in it. I'm in the light. So it's definitely possible. But I remember what I was missing at that time was to know, first of all, that I'm not alone. I would like to connect with other people, which I couldn't find anywhere. Like, how can I find somehow who is going through similar stuff, which I could talk to? That's one thing. And the other thing is that I wanted to see how I am progressing, like how I am doing, like seeing some kind of a chart or graph that would visualize my effort, you know. But none such tool existed in that time. So I created my own. And actually a few days ago I finished it. Now it's in beta testing, and it's basically a platform designed for exactly this. Like if you are going through something, you can track your life in it, and it's gonna show you your progress. And it's like an all-in-one healing platform in a sense, where you can track your life, you can journal, you can track your goals and milestones, you can even set tasks for yourself. And the most important thing, which is really amazing about it, is that it's all connected with AI. And the AI, by the way, AI helped me personally to understand myself. So I incorporated it into this platform as well. So you have like a chat where you can chat about anything related to what you are going through. And so the AI, based on everything that you are inputting, is analyzing it and providing you with insights. So for example, if I don't know what I'm going through, but I'm sharing how I'm doing every day, which takes like 1 minute to do, or even 5 minutes, depends on how deep I want to go, the AI can see the patterns that I'm maybe looping in and can show me, hey, maybe you are doing this. Here's a way how to like progress with it. So it's a really helpful tool, and I'm super excited for this because it's huge, and I believe it can support a lot of people, because I know that where I was experiencing what I was experiencing, I needed such thing. And that's not all. If you have a therapist, you can also connect your therapist to it, and the AI will provide the summarizations of what you are going through to your therapist, so that the therapist can see how you are progressing. Now, if you are a therapist watching this, the platform has its own part dedicated to therapists. So it's like a practice management tool also, but AI powered, which is wow, amazing. You can manage your clients, and you can see in real time how they are doing because of every day that they are inputting, how they are progressing. So it's both for me as a client or me as a therapist. You can also have calls in there and chat with each other. And besides all this, I want to create a healing community, because I know how freaking good it is to have someone to talk to, even if it's a peer, even if it's someone who is going through the same thing or similar thing. Like having this person to like share, hey, now I did this and it helped me, so it maybe can help you. You can just talk and exchange experiences. I think it's really helpful. So I'm also been building a huge healing community. So if you want to join, if you feel like you would like to be there, then go check out the link in the description. It's called Yara Daily. The application is Yara Daily. Yara because Yara is from Brazilian folklore. It's a mermaid of waters. And waters, for me personally, are a representation of emotions. So it's like all this progression with emotions. So that's why it's called Yara Daily, and it's happening every day. So Yara Daily. So yeah. 1 billion is a big number, but I believe that we are on a good track because so much positivity is happening in the world. So let's see it declining over the years to come. And thank you so much for watching this video. This is my very first video on this channel. Subscribe if you like my energy and vibe and sharing what I'm sharing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic in general and what maybe you personally can do towards living a better life. And I will see you in another video.